All right, let's dive straight into this explainer and unpack what is honestly a wild narrative of transmigration, identity, and absolute power. We're looking at a story that takes the ultimate do-over fantasy and just completely flips it on its head. Today, we're exploring the foundational concepts of a really intricate journey, the rise of the divine emperor of death. We'll be looking at how an utterly unremarkable life can transform in a literal instant, and how being handed the keys to the kingdom doesn't necessarily mean you want to play by that kingdom's rules. This is exactly what happens when deep-seated trauma collides with absolute unlimited potential. So I want you to start by asking yourself a question. Imagine blinking and suddenly finding yourself with a completely blank slate. If the universe handed you a mysterious death book and a chance to rewrite a thoroughly miserable, stagnant existence, what would you actually do? Would you play it safe and follow the rules of your new reality, or would you tear them up and write your own? Keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this, because that is the exact chaotic premise our protagonist is violently thrust into. The visual whiplash at the heart of our story is just profound. On one hand, we have Tianlong, a 30-year-old orphan, and on the other, we have Davis, a 3-year-old crown prince. It's a stunning duality, right? We're dealing with a grown adult's mind, complete with all the heavy, lingering baggage of a tragic past, suddenly colliding with an incredibly privileged yet physically vulnerable new reality. This crazy tension between who he was and who he's supposed to be is the engine driving everything that follows. He has to navigate complex court politics and unimaginable wealth with the deep cynicism of a man who previously had absolutely nothing. And the pacing of this journey, it's intense. You've got 30 long, dragging years of a mundane, empty orphan existence. Then, bam, in just one single second, a mere fraction of a moment, everything collapses and resets. Transmigration occurs. From that one split second, he wakes up 3 years into a new life as a crown prince, which eventually kicks off a highly unpredictable timeline of unknown years where he rises to become the divine emperor. The shift from a slow crawl of a depressing lifespan to an explosive, rapid ascent to power creates a narrative momentum that's literally impossible to ignore. Section 1. An unremarkable past life, the 30-year void. We start with a man named Tianlong. He was an orphan who lived for 30 years, but the text makes a very specific point to tell us he was without much of a life during that entire lifespan. Really think about what that implies on a psychological level. It wasn't just that he was broke, it was a profound lack of meaning, purpose, and human connection. He spent 3 decades merely existing in the shadows rather than actually living. It's a suffocating emptiness, and honestly, that's exactly what makes his upcoming radical transformation so compelling to study. I mean, he literally has nowhere to go but up. Section 2, the Death Book Transmigration, a fatal opportunity. Now, to understand what happens next, we have to clearly define transmigration. It's the transfer of a soul into a different body or world. The crucial point here is that he doesn't just get a simple second chance in his own body to, make better choices. No, his very consciousness, his literal soul, is violently and magically relocated. He's ripped from everything he has ever known and dropped entirely into an alien world with its own crazy rules, physics, and power structures. It's the ultimate displacement. But here's the kicker. He doesn't go empty-handed. He's presented with a single opportunity to transmigrate, and he brings along something highly intriguing, a death book. While the exact intricate mechanics of this book are deeply mysterious, just the name alone suggests immense consequence, immense power, and perhaps a mastery over mortality itself. This isn't just some glowing magical artifact. It represents a fatal opportunity to take control of the one force that governs all living things. Armed with the death book, Tianlong takes the leap. Section 3. Waking up as Prince Davis, the toddler prince. Imagine the immediate, visceral shock of that waking moment. His exact thought is, what's this? Is this the body of a 3-year-old? Just put yourself in his tiny shoes for a second. You have the memories, the maturity, and the world weariness of a 30-year-old man. You close your eyes, and when you open them, you look down at your hands and realize you are physically helpless. You're a toddler. The psychological disconnect between his mental age and his physical limitations creates this deep, totally understandable, momentary panic. And with that physical shock comes an immediate identity crisis. He wonders, Davis? Is this my name from now on? His inner monologue captures this really deep internal conflict. He isn't just dealing with a tiny, unfamiliar body, he's dealing with a forced new identity and a lifetime of expectations suddenly thrust upon him by strangers who claim to be his family. So who is he, fundamentally? Is he Tianlong, the forgotten 30-year-old orphan? Or is he Davis, the cherished child? He becomes deeply inwardly conflicted as he wrestles with these two clashing realities. But what makes him such a proactive and fascinating protagonist is what he does next. He refuses to just wallow in confusion. The shock wears off, and he makes a definitive, calculated choice to face the truth and tackle his bizarre new reality head-on. He accepts that Tianlong is buried in the past, and Prince Davis is the vehicle for his future. Section 4. Cultivation in the Lurid Empire. The Golden Spoon. From a mundane, entirely forgotten orphan, he wakes up as the legal heir and crown prince. He now resides in the vast Grand Sea continent, belonging to the formidable Lurid Empire. And most importantly, in a world where power is entirely determined by magical martial arts, he is rapidly becoming a powerful cultivator. Now, cultivation in this context means actively absorbing and harnessing the energy of the world to transcend human limits. His fortunes haven't just multiplied, they've skyrocketed. He has literally been given every possible advantage a person in this universe could ever ask for. So, his path to power is highly streamlined. Step 1 is simply inheriting the royal status handed to him, which is a massive political shield. Step 2 is leveraging that immense privilege, the endless imperial resources, and his mature adult intellect to become a powerful cultivator in a highly condensed time frame. He wastes zero time taking advantage of this golden spoon, ruthlessly building his personal strength to ensure he is never ever powerless again. Section 5. The Emperor of Death. A dark rebellion. But securing power just isn't enough for him. Young Davis becomes a full-fledged death's advocate. He doesn't just casually learn about death, he actively advocates for it. He leans fully into the macabre implications of his transmigration and that mysterious death book he brought with him. Instead of ruling with typical, boring royal grace, he evolves to take on the chilling, overwhelming mantle of the divine Emperor of Death. It is a very conscious rejection of the light in favor of an absolute, terrifying mastery of the dark. We see his rebellious edge emerge perfectly when he says, The route to become the Emperor is a given? Nah, I still don't want it. Despite being the crown prince of the Lurid Empire, despite having the traditional path to supreme secular power laid out for him on a silver platter with zero effort required, he rejects it. He tosses aside the pre-packaged, sanitized royal destiny because it simply doesn't fit his newly forged, fiercely independent identity. He demands to rule on his own terms. And all of this culminates in a deeply arrogant and defining declaration. When challenged by his enemies, when warned that his reckless actions are fatally foolish, he responds with this: "Oh, I'm courting death, you say? Unfortunately for you, death is already my woman." It's just such an incredibly punchy, confident statement that absolutely cements his edgy, overpowered persona. He isn't afraid of death, he claims to have courted it, mastered it, and bound it entirely to his will. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to bring us full circle right back to our original premise. We've seen how Tianlong went from a 30-year void to the body of 3-year-old Prince Davis, rejected his traditional royal inheritance, and crowned himself the divine Emperor of Death. So I leave you with this final thought. How far would you go to rewrite your own story if the universe gave you a blank page? Would you follow the expected path? Or, like Davis, would you dare to write your own absolute destiny?